Today, I want to talk to that part of you that may be hustling around or striving, maybe even low key obsessing about getting your life completely together. You know what I mean? Like that magically, one day, everything clicks into place. You're eating clean, you're meditating every day, you're doing your exercise on a regular basis, you're crushing your work goals, you're having deep connected conversations with people in your life, you're getting 8 hours of sleep, the ideal perfect life that we paint. And of course, that's great. And it's looking glowy and unbothered by everything at all. But you know what? If you've been waiting to arrive at a perfectly balanced, aligned life, this video is definitely for you. It's your reminder that alignment isn't the finish line. It's a rhythm. It's a process. It's about learning how to go with the flow of life. Okay, get real about something. There's this myth that we all have had or still have about finally getting it all together. What does that mean? That we've fallen for this myth at some point that if we just read the right book, if we just do the right perfect morning routine, if we, manifest harder, we'll arrive at this magical version of ourselves who stays aligned forever and never has to think about it again. But here's the spoiler. That day doesn't exist. It's not something that we arrive upon. Why? Life isn't static. It's not something that just stays the same. We are constantly changing. Life is changing. I mean, look at the nature. Look at the seasons. We have 4 seasons. And sometimes it's from one day to the next, different. It is a constant change. Our bodies shift, our minds shift, our moods shift, circumstances shift. Everything is in constant ebb and flow. And expecting yourself to stay in a permanent state of balance is like expecting the ocean to stop having waves. It's not going to happen. It is a natural process that we have these ebbs and these flows, that it goes up and down. It's just not going to happen. And honestly, would you ever want it to happen? I mean, that would be quite boring, I think, but life is not meant to be boring. It's meant to be exciting. It's meant to have all these ups and downs and changes. And what we need to do is just to be able to learn to ride the waves and be realistic about how we are incorporating this alignment, how we're perceiving. Perspective is everything. How we see things really matters. Let's talk about alignment for me. I know a lot of times people think, oh, alignment, everything is perfectly aligned. Everything is just all in place and one linear thing. And it's not a destination that we're reaching for. It's more like an internal GPS system that's calibrating, recalculating as you go. So some days you're right on track. You don't even need to look at your GPS. You don't even need to listen to it. You just know. And other days we've just got detour amongst detour amongst detour. And that's not failure. That's life. That's the data. That's the way life happens. It's the information that your body and mind are constantly giving to you. And this is why it becomes really important to get in tune with our mind and body, to know what's happening, to be able to listen to that internal GPS system on a more regular basis, more consistent basis. I mean, we have seasons of high energy. We have, we ride the wave of that. And then we also have seasons where rest feels like the only thing that we can manage. And that's equally valid. Alignment is about adapting, being adaptable, being flexible. It needs you to respond to your needs, your growth, and even your mistake, not constantly reacting. I mean, honestly, the people that I know who have lived the most fulfilled lives aren't those ones that have stayed aligned all their lives. In fact, I probably have known them to be more out of alignment than aligned. They're the ones that notice, though, quickly when they're drifting. And they know how to bring themselves back with compassion, no judgment, but actually with compassion. We can create these micro check-ins with ourselves to find out when we are starting to drift, and without the drama, without the stress. Now, I don't want you to be sitting there thinking, okay, great, another video telling me of what I'm not doing perfectly. It's not about perfection. Let's just keep it simple. I want to break down some check-in questions that you can ask yourself anytime that you're feeling off. I mean, we all feel off. We're human beings. We're not meant to feel in a consistent state all the time. So the first question is, what matters to me right now? Right now. Not what should I care about? What should I be doing? What's on my never ending to-do list? What matters truly to me in this moment? Ask yourself, how many times have you ask yourself that? Maybe it's connection. Maybe you need a friend to talk to. Maybe it's rest. Maybe you're just exhausted. Maybe it's finishing one task on your to-do list so that way your brain can breathe again, that you can just relax about it, get it off your list. Whatever it is, just name it. The awareness alone shifts your energy. That's the beauty about when we work on our awareness and switching and shifting our mindset, is that sometimes is enough to shift our energy and the way we feel. The second question is, am I operating from clarity or pressure? Now, this one's big, okay? Before you say yes to something, before you fire off that email or that text message, before you commit to another project or, obligation or dinner or whatever it is, ask yourself, is this coming from a clear, grounded place? Or am I reacting out of pressure, fear, or I'm just people pleasing? This is a big game changer. And if it's pressure, pause. Just take your time, give yourself a minute. Clarity always will feel calmer in your body, even if it's a difficult decision. I want you to remember that. Listen to your body. If you're making a decision out of calmness, that is more than likely coming from a place of peace and clarity. If you are feeling tense and rushed and pushed, it's not coming from that place of calmness. It's not that coming from that place of clarity. Maybe you need to take even more time than just a few minutes. Take a step back to think about what needs to be done, what feels right for you. What really feels right for you. A few weeks ago, I remember I had one of these days. This happens for all of us, right? Back-to-back calls, back-to-back patients. I had coaching clients in between. My inbox was overflowing. My assistant was checking some of the email, kind of trying to, sift it all through and kind of categorize everything. But of course, I had planned to be recording videos at the time, and I had needed to do a podcast interview. And it was just somehow like I didn't even, know whenever I was going to fit in my yoga that day. By 4 p.m. that day, I was completely frazzled, distracted, and not enjoying any bit of it. Not one moment of it. So I literally just stopped myself and I thought, okay, you know what? We're going to close the laptop. We're going to go outside, go for a walk. And I just asked myself, okay, what matters to me right now? What is the most important thing? And at the time, my brain was saying this walk right now. So I just kept on walking, taking in all the beauty of all the nature and everything. And honestly, it wasn't finishing my to-do list. Whenever I asked myself what matters to me right now, it wasn't finishing my to-do list. It wasn't returning those emails. It wasn't pushing through content creation. It wasn't anything. It was about getting outside for 15, 20 minutes in the fresh air, in the quiet, listening to the birds sing, looking at the beautiful trees and flowers. And so I did that. And I did it for about 25 minutes. And I left my phone inside when I went on this walk. So I was totally unreachable, not bothered, not distracted. And when I came back, I was suddenly just confronted with the fact that today was done. I wasn't going to get done anything else. I wasn't in a productive machine at all. I wasn't, in that mode at all. I felt more human than I had ever felt in a while, more present and more myself. And that was enough for the day. And the next day started and I was fine and I was, in a productive, energized state. Sometimes we have to do this. We have to ask ourselves, hey, what is it? What do I need right now? What is going on? If you're pushing through, that's not going to do anything. Doing things halfway, not doing things correctly, or correctly is not the choice of words, but the way that you envision it to be, you don't need to rush through it. If it's delayed by another week or a couple of days, there are certain things that, yes, need immediate attention, immediate focus, but there's some things that can wait as well. Alignment isn't about perfection. It's about relationship. It's a relationship with yourself. And when you check in on with yourself and nurture that day by day, that's going to be a big game changer, because you're not meant to live in some perfectly curated Instagram, Pinterest version of balance. You're meant to live in a way that feels better. That way you live better. It's flexible. You're more true to yourself. You're responsive to your real life. You're not all over the place just reacting, putting fires out. If that resonates with you, then, if you want to go deeper, I have created a course that's going to help with the beginnings of becoming more in line with yourself. It's called The Power of Breath, and it's about breath work. It's about basic breath work that you can incorporate in your day-to-day life. It's something that will help you build alignment practices in your life. Breath work is a very important thing that we don't necessarily get taught on how to breathe and what our body is trying to tell us. This course is developed to really give you a good introduction into that. Be sure to check it out. I'll drop the link below. If you're interested, contact us. And before you go, I want you to tell me in the comments, what's one small way that you're going to start checking in with yourself today? I'd love to hear about it. And you know what? I'm sending you a lot of compassion and a reminder that you are allowed to drift in life. Not just staying there, but you are allowed to drift. You're allowed to come back with compassion and no judgment. And after you're doing that, you're going to be feeling better. And you are doing better than what you think. Give yourself more credit. Be kind to yourself. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.